Welcome back. New polling is this morning revealing Anthony Albanese is losing his lead over Peter Dutton as preferred PM. Joining us to discuss today's headlines is Tasmanian Senator Jacqui Lambie and Independent MP Monique Ryan. Morning to you both. Jacqui, to you first, the pair. Well, they're now neck and neck. Albo had a 26-point lead a year ago. Is this the beginning of the end for Labor?
I don't think so. I think whichever majority wins next government, it will be a hung parliament. There is no doubt about that. I think we've seen that from the Canberra elections as well at the weekend. There's a real trend at the moment for those independents out there to be getting into parliament. I think that's a good way to go. I think people are sick of it. They like that we hold them to account. And we call them out, and I think people are actually liking that these days, especially with the 24-hour news cycle.
Monique, do you have a feeling the PM may be regretting the $4.3 million luxury beach house purchase?
Look, what I'm hearing on the streets of Kooyong is that people are really concerned about cost of living, they're concerned about housing. The PM's beach house really doesn't really play into it so much as the fact that they're dealing with their own stresses every day and they don't feel that they're getting what they need from the major parties, which is why they are turning to independence, as Jacqui said. Well,
according to The Australian, the PM will attempt to claw his way back, Jacqui, by launching a negative campaign against Peter Dutton. What do you reckon? Do you think Aussies like it when politics gets dirty?
No, I just say this, if your policies are so great, then why are you going at your opponent and why aren't you out there selling your policies to the Australian people? And right now they want to know, their biggest question to any leader right now is what are you going to do about the cost of living, because it is taking us under. And that is what they want to know. What are you putting in place to hit the cost of living? Because quite frankly, like I said, families are going under.
Well, that's it. And you know, these personal attacks are going to dominate now the headlines probably for weeks to come. Monique, it's already personal. A senior Labor source in the Oz today describing Dutton as arrogant, aggressive and reckless. What are your thoughts on that?
I really think that Australians really dislike this sort of language from their politicians, and what they want is to see us understanding the challenges that they're dealing with every day, whether that be housing affordability and availability, the cost of power, the cost of groceries, the cost of childcare and aged care, dealing with things like HECS and the impact of the climate change on the daily cost of living. You know, that's what they want politicians to concentrate on. They're sick of us calling each other names. It's not what they're interested in. And I really think that both Mr Albanese and Mr Dutton should really think about coming up with policies that will give Australians some cost of living relief.
It just gets so ugly when it gets nasty, doesn't it? Meantime, former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, well, he stirred the pot with a rather bold suggestion that France should be invited to join the AUKUS nuclear submarine pact. Jacqui, how do you like the sound of fraucus?
I have to be honest with you, I don't think the French are as gullible as what the Australian Parliament is. Because quite frankly, I don't see the French handing over $10 billion to either the UK or the US before they get anything substantial actually made. They're not that stupid, to be honest with you. I just don't see them entering into this whatsoever. This is a really dud deal for the country. These things are never going to be ready. They're certainly going to be they're going to be outdated by the time they're built. This is absolutely the biggest waste of money I've seen this country spend on defence procurement in years. And quite frankly, it is disgusting with what is going on with the cost of living, how much money is being wasted on these goddamn bloody submarines, which are going to be a tin piece of nothing by the time they are built.
Monique, do you ever see it happening, Mission Impossible?
I think many of us are really struggling to imagine that those nuclear submarines will ever be delivered, and if they are delivered, they won't be delivered on time, and the ultimate cost of this exercise really remains to be seen. You know, I think basically the case of AUKUS, the whole thing has lacked transparency. The fact that Boris Johnson's throwing around these ideas as if they can just be made up by these really, you know, Morrison's involvement in it, Boris Johnson's involvement in it, you know, it feels like it was a thought bubble at the time. It's really concerning and it's disappointing, I think.
Do you know what might help, Jacqui, is a little bit of Macca's diplomacy, a la Donald Trump, who's out there in the takeaway window handing out cheeseburgers and fries on the election campaign. What do you make of these strategies?
You know what? I've had enough of these politicians, and they're now all standing out at traffic lights when the election's called. They're now in McDonald's now. I've been in and out there for years doing this sort of stuff at the window. I've even got my own name tag and get a staff discount. No, I don't get the staff discount, but I do have my own name tag. It is a bit of fun. I do like being at the McDonald's window, especially on McDonald's Day. People love it too. They're actually quite surprised. I think it's a nice interaction to have with people, showing that, yeah, we can cook some hot chips and pour your Coke for you, no worries, and give you a burger all at once. See, we can do more than one thing at once.
I reckon you would have everyone in a McFlurry if they saw you behind the counter. Jacqui, Lambie, Jacqui, Monique, thank you both for your time today. We appreciate it.
Good on you. Thank you.
In our next half hour, investigation